Stream starts. Wait, let's get you a bit more centered, right? You're like, are you really centered? Like you are. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so today the main goal is to continue with Boot.dev course Chirp, right? Yeah, we're just going to be doing that. Last time around, we got sort of stuck. And the main reason why is because I was really tired in the stream, right? So the last point we were at last time I streamed, so I did a bit off stream, but it was mainly talking about, it was about authentication with passwords in JWT tokens. It was this, right? JWT. The main reason why it failed, right? I'll show you guys. And it was really simple, the bug. Then it would just make sense, right? I'm going to be doing it in Z today, just because I feel like it. I've been using a bit of Z at work. We're doing this Next.js project that's really, really big. VS Code, the LSP takes long, and it might just be my M1 just saying, please, 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 please be better. Maybe that's what the M1 is telling me. But yeah, we'll see. So Z, you actually can't see Z. So Z is actually the main goal of Z is just make this bigger. Right, that's good enough, I think. It's built on Rust. It seems to be pretty fast. I don't like the import system, but kind of just doing it anyways. So, right, this is the main reason. If you see like, oh, why are you using Z? Well, yeah, the main reason is because it's faster. But this Go program is fine. I'm just trying to change the editor. Last time around, what you might have seen was that this was called JWT token and not the secret. And this just brought an issue all around because in my environment variables, I'm just going to show you, I mean, this isn't going to be launched anyway, but it was called JWT secret. And if you went to my actual main, I was trying to read secret. I was trying to write, sorry, I was trying to read token. So this, from that point onwards, getting that environment variable wrong just made everything wrong, right, for JWT. We're past that. If you're interested, right, what that was, you could probably just, the same code as the last time, it would have worked. It was just that environment variable. So now we're talking today about refresh tokens. JWT is pretty interesting. It's got like an access token, right, that gives you straight away access to things, but it's unrevocable. So you need to have a refresh token that basically makes, so refresh tokens should be long lived and should be able to be revoked, but they should not give you access. So access token should be short lived, and if your refresh token is revoked, then you basically have no access token, right? This is just like the main thing that I understood from this. I've used it from other programs use it, and one of the most notable ones I think was Amplify at this point, and I think probably Firebase does it as well. But yeah, today I got some water with me. Could talk a bit more, right? We're just gonna be some coding, some late night coding. On a side note, before we start, one of the reasons why I do this, right? You're like, why does he do this? Why is he coding? After work, he just talks about Next.js. The main reason why I do this is because I think burnout comes from either you doing something you don't like or too much, right? Curiosity and learning new things will keep you motivated. And the way I do is actually coding more, but coding things very different to what I'm used to. You also try to do these side projects because you want to become the person you're learning to be. That might make sense, that might not, but don't quote me on that. Let's get started. Right. Okay, so we need to allow our users to stay logged in for longer periods. Let's add refresh token. We'll reduce the lifespan of our access token to improve security. We just talked about it. Access tokens should be short-lived. Session store. Because refresh tokens are stateful, we need to store the ones that have been revoked somewhere. By keeping track of all the refresh tokens we've revoked, we can reject refresh requests based on the state of the database. We need to update the login endpoint, update the user endpoint. That make more sense? It might do, might. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we've got refresh and revoke. Post API login. The login endpoint should now return this shape. Should return a refresh token as well. Okay. So let's get one of these quests. Let's try to do 5 in the stream. If you're just tuning into the stream, we're going to be doing some Golang from Boot.dev. You know, we're just learning Golang here. I might be some moments silent, just message some things in the chat. If you've got any questions, I might be able to, you know, say something about it. I might not. But, you know, let's do this. So we're going to have to change the way the API, I don't think we'll be accepting now email and password, and we will now be returning a refresh token. Should be string. We want it to look like this in J. We've got some consts as well. Const, I think it's refresh access token lifespan. We'll call this, we'll make this an hour, right? Which is the same as saying 60 times time dot minutes. Refresh token lifespan, which is 60 days. Oh, it's, yeah, 60 days. I don't know if a day is. No, it's not. You've got hours. So you've got a day would be 24. So it would look something like this, right? It would look. This is the duration that we're working with at this point. We now want the login one to create this login user. It doesn't have an expires in seconds anymore. To be honest, where was that even used? Oh, expires at, oh, that makes sense. This would be the access token lifespan. So now plus the access token lifespan is when we're gonna when this will expire, right? Just gonna rename some things because now it makes more sense. It said synced. It was meant to be signed, but that also shows how Tyler may have been at a certain point in the stream last time. And the user response should also have a refresh token. Just create the access token, then we create the refresh token. Guessing because it's stateful, we should save it to DB. So I guess we need to have like some. We'll go as we go. Let's not create issues that we don't have yet. Update the endpoint to reject if the access token in the header is a refresh token. So I need to save revoke tokens. Okay. So we should have some revoked tokens. I think this is fine. Not bad. There's a type. Oh, but no. What's time.now return? It returns a time. Okay. So we'll just say it's a time then. It's fine. I've sort of not done the, I haven't actually done the method before to get a single field from the database, but actually makes more sense, right? It makes more sense. So let's just do, we probably want to ensure the database. We want to make sure it exists. Thank you guys for watching stream. It's one of my goals to just, create content. But it's so much work, man. But I'm not really complaining. I have the opportunity to do this. I mean, I'm really learning at the same time, so we'll see. One different thing here is that we will be returning one token. What? Oh, okay. So the issue is I was passing it as a parameter. Yeah, we don't have an ID. This should work. We're not really doing tests, but should work. Put API. So that will be update user. At what point does it check it here? Okay. We'll make this a const. It's less const access token issuer. Chat access. You're created. You use that as well. Login. I feel like these consts should be capital letters. Lifespan. Same thing here. Refresh. Hey, Pingocho. I'm using Z, one dark. No other config outside of that. If you like it, you can go test it out. It's just on Z. How to write that, but it is very fast. I'm sorry if that burned your eyes like it burned mine. But yeah, the themes, there are quite a bit of them. It's all good. After we do this, there was no error. Then we should check the claims. If the claims dot issuer is different to the access token, then we're just gonna do these things, right? And just say fail to issuer does not match access token issuer. There's no error for this. It is still a fail to authenticate user, I think. Alright, so we've got 2 steps down. Now on refresh, we do need the config because we're going to need the password that we're signing things with. Right, so we're going to need a refresh token. It's going to accept some config, right? It's going to return a HTTP handler function. Handlers anything that, this will return a func that has a write and a request. And then we need to get the headers. I don't actually remember how we got the headers. It's in the request, okay. I don't want to copy and paste this, but I might for the stream. Actually, no, let's do it to learn. You have headers, but authorization header has also it comes with bearer, right? Like the format will be like this, bearer, and then some token. So to actually get the token, you're gonna have to do strings dot fields. You'll get the second one because then fields basically does it by space normally. But yeah, So you've got the token. We have the claims as well. We have to use JWT claims board pass with claims. Oh, that's why it wasn't really helping me. Pass with claims. So auth token and a function. This is interesting. I actually read this before. If you are interested, the reason why you just don't send the secret, like the reason why it uses a function, is because sometimes people have rotating secrets, and this function should return the correct secret. You know, so that's pretty interesting, right? Like if claims dot issuer is different to refresh token issuer, we're also gonna say, okay, token issuer does not match refresh token issuer. It's no error we need to pass. The next thing is finding it in DB. So we've got to do DB. There should also be some sort of const. It's used everywhere, but we'll just keep it everywhere for now. If there was an error, we'll probably say it's a 500. If we have DB, we can get token error. Then it's db.get revoke token claims dot subject. No, subject is the ID, right? No, I mean, I guess you would just get the token, right? Yeah, it has to be. Yeah. So if there was an issue getting that token, it's failed to. Actually, no. If there was an issue, then that's good. If there wasn't an issue, then that means I found your token, right? Found revoked token. Is that what you need me to respond? 401? When a token has been revoked? Yeah. And if not, then I need to create the token again. Would be very similar to the login one. We would want all of this. Create new access token again. What was that? Okay. Subject is user.igb, don't I have it? Yeah, I have it in claims. You just want the token. So I should make a struct for this. Should probably move this up. So you can tell I just keep so many things on one file. I also saw this video from Anthony GG saying stop trying to move things from files. So it's not that bad if it's zoomed out, but as I'm on stream and trying to zoom it in, it's definitely worse. Got the token now, we respond it. Now we revoke. Revoke the token in the database that matches the token that was passed. This endpoint does not require a request body, but does require a refresh token to be there. Do you expect something to return? Just 200? Wow, it's just status. Okay. Do I care about config? Do you want to make sure that this token is actually a refresh token and not? Does it matter? And this will return a handler. Return a func with the writer and the request. To be honest, no, I meant to find it interesting just seeing what other people are doing on here related to that category. That's fair. I mean, we're just going to create DB Yeah, we've got to create DB. If there was an error, creating the DB. So then we're just gonna log to create DB. And we're just gonna do the error, and then we're just gonna do. And we've got to create this. Oh, I don't actually need to create it like this. I've already done that. Oh, that's great. That's great. That was really smart of me when I did this part. I don't actually need to do this. Okay. Auth token. If there was an issue, I don't care about the token I just revoked. If I fail to create the revoked token, fail to create revoked token, and then if not, then we're just gonna say, okay, thank you so much for this. I just create, how do I create an empty interface? Okay, I guess I'll just do this. Maybe that would work. I don't know. I think maybe you get this a lot, but like, you don't really assume people just drop by, especially also interactive. So it's a breath of fresh air, especially on a late night stream. But yeah, he likes some Hans Zimmer. I mean, he's a really good. I personally like he did some good. He did some really good work on the Dune soundtrack. But when it's like a midday type of vibe and I'm working coding out, I love me some Top Gun. And what's the I mean that's yeah, I can see that. I love me some Top Gun soundtrack. Pretty good. Okay, so we've actually finished. Oh, we haven't actually finished it yet. So now we want to add. What do we want to add? We want to add revoke. We're really close to finishing off revoke and refresh, right? Yeah. So finishing on the problem took us a whole hour, which is about some tokens, and we'll see if the test pass. Hopefully they do. First time. I love a bit of jokes on first time tests. Normally things don't work out the first time, but here on this stream, we're different. All right, so we'll run the tests. 201, 200, 401, 200, 401. Wait, it didn't actually work. Okay, so here we had an issue. We expected 201 for a refresh, and we got 400. Ooh, and a big error. That's not nice. Ah, I see the issue. It's always this issue. It always gets me, man. Wait, this issue always gets me. I already know it straight away because it's because of this. It's the fact that this is this and not that. It's crazy. It changes when I write. When I write, no, when I load. Is it when I load or is it when I ensure it's here? Such a stupid issue, man. It's the fact that you just have to make this. Make. But yeah, it's probably one of the people that you would be like, yeah, why is this still failing? Token is malformed. Fail to authenticate user in refresh token. Token signature is invalid. Key is invalid. HMAC verify expects byte. Let's do this. Refresh token. Some refresh. Do any of the tests fail beforehand? Okay. Refresh is failing. This is where it fails. Oh, okay. It's pass with claims. And I'm missing the claims. I see. Pass with claims. So I need to send the claims, yeah. That makes sense. Entry to a nil map. Token signature is invalid. Issuer does not match token issuer, that's fine. Did we have an issue beforehand? I am married now. Married quite 23. This is an issue. What's the issue here? Let me just see. Am I not getting something? Wait, is refresh? I'm trying to do refresh. It should be an authorization. Did I write it wrong? No, I didn't. Okay. Why? What's the issue? I can see it here. Oh, I see. It expects a byte. It was telling me all along. That was it. What it expected. Let's just see. I'm still getting issues though. Assignment to entry in nil map. What do you mean? What do you mean? Why is it still nil? Why is that still nil? Why is it saying the nil map issue though? Okay, that's straight away an issue. Where does that come from? Is it the reset? Yeah, it is the reset. Oh, I see. Cookies, some HTTP cookies. You've probably seen this in any page. HTTP HTTP cookies are one of the most talked about but least understood aspects of the web. When cookies are talked about in the news, they usually imply to be privacy stealing bad guys. While cookies can certainly invade privacy, that's not what they are. We built a site called pluralresearch.org. It's where I work. I'm CTO, I'm tech lead. It's really hard to say CTO, we're only 4 people. The way we actually do this authentication is with cookies. So, I mean, it's not all that bad. Cookies is a small piece of data that the server sends to a client, then the client then dutifully stores the cookie and sends it back to the server on subsequent things. I'd like to respond to your question. The client dutifully stores the cookie and sends it back to the server. Cookies can store any arbitrary data. Server decides what to put in the cookie, and the client's job is simply to store it and send it back. Simply put, cookies work through HTTP headers. Cookies are sent through a client called setCookies. Cookies are most popular for browser-based applications because browsers automatically send any cookies back to the server in the cookie header. Why aren't we using cookies in Chirpy? Simply put, Chirpy's API is designed to be consumed by mobile apps other than servers and other servers. Cookies are primarily for browsers. A good use case for cookies to serve a more strict and secure transport layer for JWTs within the context of a browser-based application. For example, when using HTTP-only cookies, you can ensure that third-party JavaScript that's being executed on your website can't access any of your cookies. That's a lot better than storing JWTs in your browser's local storage where it's easily accessible to anything. The reason why we went for cookies is because of this, because it's more secure. Cookies can sometimes probably be an invasion of privacy, but cookies can also be a more secure way of not giving your information to other people. Cookies can store anything. Cookies are best used in web apps. And that's it for chapter 6, authorization. If you didn't know the difference about authentication and authentication is who and authorization is what. What can this user do? And who are you? Can you actually do anything? That's authentication. Just to say, all right, thank you for following now. Thank you for the time you were here. It was a good stream.